I really get it. I really get it when I witness people not being able to claim their desires, not being able to speak their truths, not being able to follow through with the calling that's placed in their heart. They hear loud and clear in so many different ways. In my life, I learned what it takes. I learned what it takes, and I am also experiencing another one of those in this moment in time. And I want to speak about that because I know a lot of us are experiencing new revelations, new awarenesses, new desires popping within our hearts. And at times that means if we actually ever speak it into the field, whether it's a business field or relationship field or whatever it is, that may mean your life changing trajectory, your life turning upside down. And even though there are layers to this, and in the collective, we are experiencing all different layers of it, especially if you have been doing a lot of work on yourself for a very long time and you have already cultivated, like a life for yourself that is already so beautiful. And you have something good going on. But if your desire, if your truth, if you speak that into the field, it's going to lead you to a greater thing. You deep down, you know that in your heart, but to let go of the good is not the easiest. I mean, to let go is not easy because it is very human to want the familiar, want the comfortable. And as we are experiencing this massive evolutionary shift on the planet right now, obviously it has to also start within our hearts, within our own lives, right? And it is happening, and how I'm experiencing it, I want to share it with you because I really know how hard it is to go through this experience, the experience of really speaking the truth, the experience of choosing a path, the experience of life turning upside down, the grief portal, the knowing deep in the heart. So, after a deep, long, dark night of the soul experience I recently had, on the other side of it, I came out with the desire to become a mother in this life. And I have been tiptoeing around this for a very long time, especially after my godson came into my life. Like, I really recognized my heart opening in a way that I didn't know it could. And, what would happen if actually I had one? And, you know, and I was in the relationship and we were having the conversation around this, but it was on hold for a little bit for various different reasons. And on the other side of this initiation, me finally coming into a point where I really declared my desire to become a mother. Like, it was a knowing. And I didn't know it then, but this declaration meant the end of the relationship. A beautiful relationship, a deep relationship that I have never experienced before. So I had a fork on the road, and one was saying, stay in this version of this relationship and give up on your desire to become a mother. You already don't know how it feels, so you don't know what you're missing anyway, blah, blah, blah. Or you just walk away, not knowing if I'm ever going to fall in love again or trust someone again or um, have a baby. I don't even know. But staying meant no. Leaving meant there's still a possibility. In the infinite realm of possibilities, there is a possibility. And I left this beautiful, gorgeous relationship for that possibility. And my life turned upside down. And my grief took over my life. I traveled 10,000 miles to the other side of the world to be held by my mother, which ended up healing our relationship in a way that I could not have imagined. Being modeled a way of mothering that I have actually never modeled growing up. Just this deep, deep, deep heart connection with her. And then feeling the call to the Virgin Mother Mary's house in Turkey and going and placing a prayer and being supported by her. And I came down to this like conclusion where when the mother calls, when the mother calls, and who knows, like what is, while I'm like, going through experiences and like talking about the calling and the purpose and living in purpose, who knows, like if my purpose in life is just become a mother while I am searching for purpose. Oh my goodness. And I get it because there is just so much in there. There's a full spectrum of experience, especially when you're in the grief portal, especially when you're actually letting yourself go all the way in. And as a medicine woman, I am no stranger to the initiations of this path, but this has been such an interesting initiation where I let my grief, I let this experience all the way in. And from that space, I'm not saying I'm out of my grief process. Even like recording this video is just bringing up a lot. But I want to share that, you know, life on the other side of your reclamation, of your claiming your desire, of you choosing yourself, of you speaking your truth, of you saying, I'm going to love myself and I'm done abandoning myself for other people's needs and life trajectories. Life delivers something that you can never know unless you choose it. I have experienced life supporting me in ways, it's just blowing my mind. The synchronicities, the miraculous, the magical unfolding of everything. It's just the way, life's way of showing you that you're on the right path. You're on the right path. Yes, it is painful. Yes, truth turns your life upside down. And it is not my first time experiencing this, hence I call myself Satya. But what does it cost us to actually act like we don't hear? What does it cost? It costs us our curriculum sometimes. And yes, we can make choices in life and all of that, but sometimes, like we are not always making decisions from our highest self. We're making decisions from our default programming, from our trauma ego, from our pain body. And then continue praying for the life that we want to live while we know what it actually takes. It takes us to tell the truth, claim the desire, dare to walk the path. It does. So if you're finding yourself at this kind of place where you know what's in your heart, but it is scary to say the thing, to choose the thing, to do the thing, I invite you to trust yourself. Rumi has this saying to this, like this guy comes in and says, like, you think that your life is going to turn upside down. How do you know if the downside is not better than the up? How do you know? You don't know, and you won't know if you never try. You won't know if you never show up for your calling. You won't know if you never speak the truth. You won't know how that body feels when you speak the truth. And while you're searching for the fucking peace, the peace, everything, actually, everything that you desire to feel is on the other side of the truth that you're avoiding to speak, of the desire that you're avoiding to claim, of the calling that you're avoiding to actually walk toward. Everything. And it is costing you your life. I recently turned 40, and you know what? I don't give a flying fuck. Life is short. Life is so precious. Life is just so wonderful and full of magic and miracles. And yes, pain. But you know what? I had this dream. It was toward the end of my 40 to 40 self initiation process before turning 40. And it was the last week before I took off for this little birthday pilgrimage that I was going on. And I knew when I had that dream, the initiation was complete. And this dream was almost like this liminal space. It was around like 3:30 and 4 a.m. in the morning. I am waking up, and this like space between you're not sleeping but you're sleeping, and you're dreaming, and you have the downloads, and like you're just feeling. And in that state, in that liminal space, my heart field opened, and I could feel the presence of God there. Just so much love, like in my sleep. And in that moment, I just heard, like in one of those levels of awareness, I heard myself, I am so grateful for everything that has brought me closer to God. And in that moment, when I was hearing that within the dream, within that space, I knew that was the closure of my 40 to 40 initiation before turning 40. And closing four decades of experiences and integrating the personal myth in my personal experiences. And it was like, just gratitude for everything that has brought me to God, closer to God, and me claiming my desire, me choosing myself, me not knowing if I'm ever going to be a mother, but still saying, you know what, I love you, but I gotta go, is bringing me closer to God. And from that, in God, we are limitless. In God, we are taken care of. In God, we can create the life that we are here to create. So my invitation to you, my love, if you're finding this video, dare to choose yourself, dare to stop abandoning yourself and your desires. Dare to say yes to your desires, to your calling. Dare to speak your truth, even if it means your life is going to turn upside down for a minute, but you're going to quickly realize, if you learn how to stay in it and feel everything and take it all in, you're going to quickly realize the downside is better than the upside. And it brought you closer to who you're here to be. It brought you closer to God. Blessings.